Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Kind of sounds a little bit like the conversation you just had about wanting the spotlight. This is what I said about it, and I love it. I want to see them going at it. I want to see them play physical. I want to keep this racist crap off the court where some jamoke wants to talk like that, then go home. I don't want to hear it. I love this rivalry. I am here for every single second of it. Your thoughts?
Well, first of all, it's not a rivalry. Not when you lose about 35 points.
That's true.
It's not rivalry. Indiana Fever's on a different level than Chicago.
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark aren't even close to a true rivalry, says Stephen A. Smith. Dan Patrick also notes that Clark, not Reese, is the primary reason the WNBA is receiving so much attention. Analysts often highlight Clark's exceptional skill and dedication, while suggesting that much of Reese's visibility stems from her association with Clark.
Her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it.
Stephen A. Smith argues that Caitlin Clark is operating at a higher level than Angel Reese, citing her NCAA tournament records and all-time scoring achievement at Iowa. He emphasizes that Clark's game, her vision, poise, and pressure performance already reflects a professional standard. Smith also challenges the idea of a rivalry, pointing to the Chicago Sky's 35-point loss to the Indiana Fever and saying, "It's not a rivalry when you're getting blown out by 35. He believes the gap in performance is too wide for the rivalry label to apply. While Smith respects Reese's talent, he suggests her prominence is largely tied to her association with Clark.
Secondly, as much as we love Angel Reese because she is special, she's not Caitlin Clark as a player. Caitlin Clark is on a different level. We just have to own that. Angel Reese can rebound the basketball. She's a damn good player. She's got a bright future in WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is next level.
Smith argues that Angel Reese's fame is largely driven by viral moments, especially her interaction with Caitlin Clark during the NCAA championship and the social media buzz that followed. He emphasizes that going viral isn't the same as consistently dominating on the court. According to Smith, building a legacy through performance is very different from gaining attention through a single moment.
Caitlin Clark's or Angel Reese's popularity in large part is attributed to her behavior towards Caitlin Clark. Because when Caitlin Clark was busy taunting opponents a couple of years back before LSU smacked Iowa around in the national championship game or so, it was Angel Reese that was clapping back at Caitlin Clark once it was Caitlin Clark's turn to have her comeuppance. And that's what made Angel Reese.
That's the key distinction for Smith. Reese is generating buzz through viral moments, while Clark is rewriting the record books. He highlights Clark's disciplined approach, focused, hardworking, team-oriented, and clutch when it matters most. Smith points to her consistent performances and the strong support from her teammates as proof. In contrast, he doesn't see the same level of sustained dominance from Reese. While acknowledging her talent, Smith argues that her reputation is built more on standout moments than a track record of game-to-game excellence.
But the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark. Now, you might, if you stay long enough, maybe you'll see something or someone that you go, okay, I'm entertained by this. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you watch a sport because of one singular person. People watch golf because of Tiger.
Smith isn't alone in his view. Dan Patrick echoes many of the same points, stating, Clark, not Reese, is responsible for the true increase in WNBA attention. He adds, the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark, reinforcing the idea that Clark is driving the league's visibility and ratings, not just for her team, but across the board. So, if Clark is clearly outperforming, why is Reese calling this moment historic? To understand that, we need to hear her side of the story.
These are not players of the same stature. They're not it. Like,
and that's not an insult to Angel Reese.
No. Caitlin Clark's different, right? Like, I think that's something that a lot of people just need to come to terms and understand here is much of the why Caitlin Clark and not other people is that the other people are not Caitlin Clark. Like, strictly talking about this is basketball.
Angel Reese isn't avoiding the spotlight. She's owning it. She's embraced being called a villain, saying, I'll take that role and go down in history for it. For Reese, it's not a setback, but a way to keep women's basketball in the spotlight, even if it means taking the heat.
She made a lot of money NIL-wise.
Reese has acknowledged that the national championship game sparked the attention. Her "you can't see me" gesture toward Caitlin Clark went viral, instantly making her a central figure in the conversation. She's fully aware of how that moment shaped both the sport and her own image.
But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball. She is a social media star, and she has capitalized on that. And maybe she embraces being the villain. But make no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened.
Reese openly admits she's playing the antagonist role on purpose. She knows people notice her, even if it's negative attention. "I've probably heard negative things about me," she said. "But with women's basketball where it is, I'll take that." Reese believes being Clark's rival helps boost viewership and grow the sport. She's ready to be the love-to-hate figure if it means building something bigger than just a rivalry between two players.
And Angel Reese knows a ring is coming.
The situation gets complicated here. Is Reese's villain role a smart way to build her brand, or is it distracting from real on-court competition? Monty Jones offers insight, noting that the tension between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese has grown beyond basketball into broader issues and online drama. Jones describes the atmosphere as almost unbearable, saying the constant debates and fights make it hard to enjoy the game. He warns that fans are losing sight of why they started watching in the first place.
And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one.
Jones compares the Clark-Reese rivalry to the legendary Bird Magic matchup, but says today's situation feels even more intense. He believes society would have exploded if Bird and Magic had faced off in the same conference. Now, the focus is less on celebrating two stars pushing each other and more on taking sides and stirring controversy. While Jones sees Reese as a challenger and Clark as the dominant player, the conversations around them go far beyond basketball.
There is a Magic Bird element, obviously, to these two players. The problem is Angel Reese ain't no Magic Johnson.
Good player.
Perception and race are central to the discussion. Jones questions whether a black athlete like Reese could achieve the same popularity as Caitlin Clark. He points out that Clark's success isn't just about skill. Her reception is shaped by race. Meanwhile, Reese faces harsher criticism for simply being herself. According to Jones, fans' reactions reveal the unfair expectations and biases present in sports.
I mean, there are so many great players, but maybe they didn't capture your imagination. Caitlin Clark has. People watch. Now everybody wants to have an opinion on this. And that's where it clutters, muddies up everything that the women have tried to do. They've been there. You just haven't.
Jones highlights a key moment to show how these dynamics play out. Remember Clark's walk-away stare earlier in the tournament? Fans praised it as competitive and tough. But when Reese made a similar gesture, and things got physical with a shove and a rebound fight requiring Aaliyah Boston to intervene, it sparked a very different reaction. The focus shifted from basketball to how people interpret actions differently based on who's doing them. That incident became a flashpoint, revealing how quickly the conversation moves from the game to debates about race, respect, and personality.
What is your rivalry? There is none. And I do appreciate a good rivalry. Like baseball had the Red Sox and the Yankees, which wasn't really a rivalry because the Yankees always won until the Red Sox won. Now you have a rivalry. Like the Giants and the Dodgers, rivalry. But you don't have many of them. And I love to have that where you tune in because it just feels like it's more than just a game. There's tension there. These guys don't like each other. These women don't like each other. I'm fine with that.
Jones dives deeper into the relationship between these athletes and their fans, highlighting the parasocial nature of the rivalry. People project their own views and frustrations onto Reese or Clark, treating every play like a personal battle. This fuels a toxic online environment where debates escalate quickly, and supporting one player often feels like attacking the other.
right? Like this thing that happened with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese this last time, it was a basketball tussle between two people that I don't think like each other. Okay, I don't think.
Women's basketball has certainly gained more viewers from the increased attention. While Jones acknowledges this, he worries the focus on drama and conflict could harm the league long term. When the story centers on disputes rather than the game, the basketball itself gets lost. Jones says the nonstop online noise makes it hard for him to enjoy the sport for what it truly is. So, even though the Clark-Reese rivalry draws more fans, it also distracts from the players' skills and the game itself, a concern every fan should consider moving forward.
I can't stand you. I can't. And the biggest reason I can't stand online WNBA discourse, it's hardly ever about basketball. Even when it doesn't involve these two. It just does not feel when I consume the things that I see. And maybe I'm hanging out in the wrong places and maybe I'm hanging out in the wrong circles. That's why I'm coming here asking y'all for a little bit of help. It hardly ever seems to be about that.
Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have both changed women's basketball. Smith says they're boosting the WNBA, while Dan Patrick credits Clark for the surge, comparing her to Tiger Woods. Instead of rivalry drama, let's focus on how they've transformed the game. Who do you agree with, Jones, Smith, or Reese? Subscribe for more WNBA insights.
Do you think that Angel Reese is very calculated recently with what she's doing? And I'm complimenting her. She made a lot of money NIL-wise her last year at LSU. And it feels like she's embracing this role and leaning into it, even leaning into any criticism off her comments because she knows it's going to pay her back because she can't make money on the floor in the WNBA.